Hi, before we start, if you want more daily games news video, like, subscribe and hit that bell button. Let's go. Cyberpunk 2077 releases update 1.61. Developer CD Projekt Red has detailed all the changes coming to Cyberpunk 2077 in update 1.61 of the game. Cyberpunk 2077 suffered from several issues at launch, ranging from technical problems to missing features. It ran particularly badly on base PS4 and Xbox One consoles, resulting in CD Projekt Red offering refunds to affected customers. The developer managed to turn things around, as Cyberpunk 2077 has seen growth in the active player base in recent months. In October, CD Projekt Red stated that Cyberpunk 2077 had 1 million active players each day for 4 consecutive weeks, an impressive achievement considering the massive controversies that surrounded the game. The development team has continued to update Cyberpunk 2077 throughout this post-launch period, with patch 1.61 launching soon on all platforms. CD Projekt Red mentions that patch 1.61 for Cyberpunk 2077 is being rolled out, and it has shared a full list of changes coming in this update. It looks like a majority of this update is focused on fixing bugs across various aspects like gameplay, UI, and the quests in Cyberpunk 2077. The patch notes first focus on the issues fixed in the open world, as some bugs prevented gamers from completing certain quests. The next section deals with solving a few visual bugs in Cyberpunk 2077, such as floating objects or glitched cars. It also mentions that NPCs will now carry umbrellas in various shapes and colors, and players will be able to correctly see their altered nail length after changing them from long to short using the mirror. The patch notes then go over platform-specific changes, such as fixing a crashing issue on the PC version, and cross-progression not working as intended when transferring Cyberpunk 2077 saves from Xbox One to PC or PlayStation. The last section highlights a few other problems that were fixed in this update and confirms that patch 1.61 adds support for MD Fidelity X Super Resolution 2.1 to Cyberpunk 2077. Overall, this update adds a few new features to the game in addition to solving a significant list of bugs. Fans interested in spending more time in this world should note CD Projekt Red announced a sequel to Cyberpunk 2077 last month. It's being codenamed Project Orion, and the development will be handled by the main team at CD Projekt Red. Not much is known about the game at this moment, and it'll likely be a few years before players can get their hands on Cyberpunk 2077's second sequel. The full patch notes for Update 1.61 of Cyberpunk 2077 are as follows. Cyberpunk 2077 Update 1.61 patch notes. Quests in open world. Fixed an issue where spamming the interact button to loot containers could cause various NCPD scanner hustles to not be completed properly. Reported crime. Another circle of hell. Lost and found. Blood in the air. Disloyal employee. Don't fudge the parking brake. Comrade Red. Fixed an issue where quest wasn't completed after looting the goods. Fixed an issue where some assault-and-progress missions in Northside, Rancho Coronado, Coastview, and Badlands weren't completed despite fulfilling the objective. Fixed an issue where some suspected organized crime activities weren't completed despite fulfilling the objective. Fixed an issue that could disable all drop points, blocking progress in various gigs. Fixed an issue where it wasn't possible to complete an assault in progress in Charter Hill because the evidence didn't spawn. Cyberpsycho sighting. House on a hill. Fixed an issue where it wasn't possible to reach the Cyberpsycho because the garage door didn't open. Cyberpsycho sighting, where the bodies hit the floor. Fixed an issue where the quest was stuck on the Find the Cyberpsycho objective after defeating the Cyberpsycho and sending information to Regina. Gig. Error 404 fixed an issue where the gig didn't trigger after approaching the area. Gig. Freedom of the Press fixed an issue where it wasn't possible to proceed inside the TV station building because the doors were closed. Gig. Greed never pays. Fixed an issue where it was impossible to complete the Search the Hidden Room objective because the computer was unpowered. Gig. Last login. Fixed an issue where the gig didn't trigger after approaching the area. Gig. No fixers. Fixed an issue where the gig didn't trigger after approaching the area. Gig. Old friends. Fixed an issue where the gig didn't trigger after approaching the area. Gig. Playing for keeps. Fixed an issue where it wasn't possible to speak to the bartender if combat started inside the bar, blocking progress. Gig. We have your wife. Fixed an issue where Lauren wasn't reacting after coming to rescue her, blocking progress. Automatic love. Fixed an issue that could block progress to further main quests after leaving Clouds. Fortunate Son fixed an issue where it wasn't possible to progress past the return to the Aldecaldos camp objective. I Fought the Law fixed an issue where after meeting up with River, he teleported to an unreachable area underground, blocking progress. Small Man Big Mouth fixed an issue where the truck in the garage could be despawned, blocking progress. Visual Night City NPCs will now carry umbrellas in various colors and shapes. Fixed multiple instances of missing collisions that could result with player falling off the map. Corrected various floating or displaced objects on the map. Fixed the issue where bees' breasts clipped through clothes after changing their size at a ripper dock. Fixed an issue where after changing nail length from long to short using the mirror, the change wasn't reflected in-game until reloading a save. Fixed an issue where cars could glitch after bumping into them. GAMEPLAY. Fixed an issue where Headhunter and Blue Fang iconic knives would not appear in vendor's inventory if player visited the vendor before the 1.6 patch. Crit damage and quick hack cooldown reduction bonuses in clothing should now work properly. It should be now possible to craft the legendary variant of the Amnesty iconic revolver. Fixed an issue where it was possible to use consumables during fist fights. Fixed an issue where weapons with explosive damage were dealing less damage than intended. Fixed an issue where slotted mods disappeared from an item after selling it to a vendor, leaving and then coming back to the same vendor. Fixed an issue where putting a corpse into a container or a trunk, walking away and then coming back could give a player an infinite amount of money. The heat-resistant Aramid Weave Fixer shirt will now be also available for non-Street Kid players. Fixed an issue where firing some weapons when falling could cancel fall damage. UI, The Beast in Me, fixed an issue where player's position could be shown as a 6 despite coming second. Fixed an issue where reverting key bindings back to default was not reflected in the game until restart, reload. Fixed an issue where the inventory menu could rapidly scroll up and down after disassembling or dropping an item. PC specific. Fixed the issue with temporary FPS drops when exiting menus. Addressed the issue where achievements in Epic Games Store were not granted despite meeting the requirements. Note that in cases where the conditions were met before in a given save, it might be required to try on a new playthrough or from an earlier save where the conditions were not met yet. Load menu should no longer get stuck when playing the game on GOG without internet connection. Fixed an issue where upgrading an item into a higher tier rarity crashed the game. Console specific. Fixed an issue where cross-progression saves from the Xbox One family weren't transferred to PC or PlayStation. Fixed an issue where after logging into GOG on PlayStation, my rewards section displayed an error. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.